Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein. This is Justin Frederick, who probably would not do good in middle school now. You just can't stay off the phone. You would be the guy, put away your phone, sir. Put away your phone.
Absolutely, I would, actually.
And Ryan Gerdes, okay, totally off the rails here. What would we have been like in middle school and high school with the technology that our kids have today? Boy. I might be in jail.
Wow. I don't know, because I still didn't we had a Nintendo system, and I think from first grade to about fourth or fifth grade, I loved that damn thing. I played Super Mario and Zelda and Kung Fu, Contra, Ikari Warriors. I played those all the time, and then when I got in fifth or sixth grade, I was just so enthralled with sports, and so I was just playing soccer, baseball. Anything that was going on over there, it was, but primarily soccer and baseball a lot. And then by the time I got into high school, I was all football, volleyball, and baseball, and so I just getting on the computer and whatnot just wasn't really my thing. And so, I waited forever to actually get a cell phone. I didn't get one until probably about 2004. I always just had a landline because I was just I don't really care. So I don't know that it would have been as impacted my life then, but it would have probably just been me looking up sports stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I wonder because, I played college baseball. Baseball basically paid for my education. I got the privilege of playing 1 year single A. And when I say playing, I didn't play. I got to ride the bench 1 year of single A. But it was because every frickin' summer, every day, we were outside playing baseball or just out doing stuff in evenings and in weekends playing baseball. There was no, my video game system was the original Atari. And you couldn't play with people online, and so I feel like a lot of my life where I'm at today, and especially college and baseball, I don't know if I would have ever had that experience had I had today's technology. I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm. I would have definitely listened to a lot more music, because if I wasn't doing sports, I was listening to music, and it was girl crazy. So maybe I would have. Maybe I would have done one of the. I don't even know if they have sites for kids in high school and whatnot. I don't know, because by the time I was in high school, I was looking for female companionship.
Well, fortunately, the theme of this entire show is story time. So this is perfect. Yeah. So you're gonna want to text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON, because we want to make you part of our stories, and so. We wanted to devote a little bit of time of just reflecting on our podcast listeners and our clients, and just some of the stories that we have recently experienced that really can benefit our listeners, of people that have taken our strategies and taken what we do personally as buyers and investors ourselves, and are making it part of their life. So Ryan, we'll start with you. What's one of the most recent experiences that you've had?
So you've heard us talk about the importance of relationships and networking, and how that plays into not only our business but our personal lives and overall fulfillment, and anywhere where you are looking for fulfillment. But this one is particularly professional, and so one of the local agents here had a client that they were helping out up in the White Mountains, and while we do work up there, she's not on our direct team, but we do have a professional relationship. And she said, I have these folks that have some land down in the valley that that was bequeathed to them, and unfortunately they're looking to unload it because they don't live here anymore, or the folks that inherited it don't live here, and they just want to get rid of it. And so, replied and said, reached out, had a conversation with them, and they gave us the information, and they said, well, while you're at it, we have 5 other parcels that we're looking to get offers on, and so we made offers on all 6. and most of them are not really ideal properties as far as drawing a big number from them or anything. Most of them are in pretty remote areas throughout Arizona and don't carry a very heavy price tag. But still, I'm a land nerd, and I love having my hands on land. I feel like it's the most purest form of real estate that there is. And there's so few moving parts, and the maintenance and holding of it, the cost is basically nil. I mean, you have property taxes. You might have a little bit of insurance. If it is in an HOA, you might have some recurring costs. But for these ones, that wasn't the case. And so we made offers on all 6 of them. And just this morning, they accepted our offer on 5 of them. And we're trying to figure out that 6th parcel. So it was interesting because I know damn near everything there is to know about land here locally. The market for them, the trends for them, the utility for them, the permitting process for them. I mean, if it has any type of HOA stuff, then that's all over the map. I don't have my thumb on the pulse of all of that, but you kind of take those on a case-by-case basis. And so it was really fun digging through these different counties and how they report information, and how they and how all that works. But man, technology is so cool now. Kind of going back to how it have changed then, but I didn't have a career when I was in high school or middle school and whatnot. But now, we're looking at topography, we're looking at flood maps, we're looking at aerial views, we're looking at easements, we're looking at access, we're looking at all the utilities, we're looking at schools, we're looking at fire, we're looking at police force, we're looking at all these different things, and it's so manual. It's not like a lot of these homes that are already built where those reports are already generated because that was part of the permitting process when they first started. So you have to dig in a little bit deeper, especially when it's in remote areas, because it might be on separate websites, or you might have to pick up the phone and talk to somebody to figure out what's really going on with something. So learned a lot about different counties and different parts of the state, and I feel really comfortable with our numbers, and I'm looking forward to getting in there and doing some of our due diligence and picking up some more land for us. And so the agenda will be to flip some of it. We'll turn around and sell some of it, and then hold on to some of it, and then 1 or 2 of them putting manufactured homes or doing some small development on it.
Well, I think it's and I think the lesson here for our listeners is that if you're looking to build wealth in real estate, and both of us, Ryan, when we bought our first homes, like really early on, we weren't thinking about land, we weren't thinking about real estate portfolios, but I think early on we learned the lesson of real estate and how real estate can help you build wealth. And if you are looking for just a different mindset and a different prism in which to see real estate, whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to add to your real estate portfolio, we would love to have that conversation with you. All you got to do is text the word STORY to 623-AZ-RECON. That's STORY to 623-AZ-RECON. Justin, what about you, pal?
I got 3, but I'm going to stick to 1 just for timing. But
I think we do this every week.
All right. So I had a couple. We got them pre-qualified early September. They were sent over to us by some of our referral partners, and we had a great conversation. We were talking about, leading up to the Fed rate cuts and all this good stuff. Well, they got under contract on September 21st. Rates were looking great. We had a conversation that day. Hey, we're going to actually it wasn't the 21st. They got under contract the day before the rate cut, and so it was the 17th of September, and had a conversation. Hey, we're going to watch what rates do tomorrow. It's not going to be the cut that's going to do anything. It's going to be what happens after the cut that's going to make a difference. So if we start seeing things turn sideways, we're going to lock your rate, and we're going to send you new disclosures. So we lock the rate, and we send out the new disclosures. The client never opens the disclosures.
Oh.
We are calling, texting, emailing, no responses. So we're like, something's going on here. We find out a week later that they they started working with another lender. We got the agent partner to give us a little insight on what was happening, and the lender had promised them a lower rate, saying the rates are going to keep going down. The Fed's going to cut the rate. The rate's going to be 0.5% lower tomorrow. You're good.
Oh my gosh.
So they started all this process.
That's the snake oil shit right there.
Yeah, this happens. This happens a lot. But we had these great conversations about strategy and all this good stuff, and talk to them about what happens in the market. Talk to them about interest rates. Completely cut the conversation. Well, just last Friday, we got a phone call from the client stating that they were going to lock in the rate, and the rate was much different with the lender. And thank God I didn't close the file, kept it open, and kept the rate. And all she had to do was reach out to us, but she has to delay her close of escrow because we're not going to have enough time to get it done. But we kept the rate, we saved it. She ended up, the other lender ended up locking her 0.5% higher than what we were with points.
The lender got the 0.5% right, just wrong
Wrong
direction.
way.
Yeah,
Wrong
direction.
way. But I think my point here is, just keep open communication. We can talk through everything. My ultimate goal for all of our clients is to make sure we can get you the best deal. I'm not afraid of saying go with them. But no matter what you're working with, don't ignore people that you've already created relationships with. I'm pretty surprised that she swallowed her pride. I mean, I know it's a big difference in her monthly payment, but still a lot of people have a hard time swallowing that pride and coming back. I'm glad she did. But those are tough ones, and man, it felt good that she called back finally. And I knew it was going to happen.
Dude, you know what I love about you and your guys' group that I see so many other people not doing is when you're being shopped, you don't poo-poo that other person. It's okay, that's a logical and legitimate thing that you're doing. You're spending hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, and every little tick on that interest rate or every little added fee is going to affect your livelihood. And so go shop me, and if you feel like there's a better fit somewhere else, then I'm gonna bow out gracefully and tell
100%.
you and have your back. Because recently I had an experience because I've been doing insurance. I've been shopping like crazy for insurance. That's a whole nother podcast.
Oh,
We need
my
to talk about
goodness.
that. Yeah.
And so so I was transparent with everybody. I had a spreadsheet along with all my evidence of insurance and deck pages, etc., all put together in one zip file, and I just said, "Hey, duke it out. I'm not going to come back and negotiate with you. Whoever gives me the best coverage with the rates, etc., then that's more than likely who I'm going to go with." And one of them came back and was just, "Oh, this other company or this other person, blah blah blah." So you can go ahead and go with them, but it's you're a moron if you do. And I'm like, dude, fuck you.
Yeah.
Don't call
Scare
the
tactics.
client
Yeah.
a moron.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it goes back to just that customer service, just like we were talking about on the last podcast. It's like, if I give good customer service, people will pay for that. People will pay for that value. I always want to be the first person that somebody calls, whether I'm the one that's doing the deal or not. I want to be that first phone call. I want the first shot at it.
Yeah.
Give me the first shot. I'm going to lead you in the right direction. If you choose to go with somebody else, I'll help you through it.
Yeah.
And I think that's been one of the best pieces of a success with me in this industry.
And your whole team shares that culture.
Yeah.
How about you, Mike?
Well, I was going to say, if you want to be introduced to Justin and his team and really learn about real estate wealth building strategies, we want you to, and we want to make you part of story time. We got to come up with a name for the story time.
Yeah.
All you got to do is text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON. That's story to 623-AZ-RECON. It was sometime at the beginning of summer, and for people who are regular listeners to this show, they know that we're heavily involved with our men and women at Luke Air Force Base. And so I can't remember for the life of me the event. And so I got this opportunity. I met these two airmen. And there's a difference between airmen and pilots. And we had a great conversation at a TRIZ event. And I don't know, it's just, I enjoy hanging out with our friends at Luke Air Force Base. So my natural go-to is, do you golf? Right? Because I would love to hang out with them.
And they generally do either golf or drink or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
So we ended up setting up a time to go golfing. I forgot where you were, Ryan. I think you might have Alaska, Italy. I can't keep up with you. So I dragged Justin along, and so we went to Arrowhead Ranch and spent some great time golfing and talking and drinking and just really talking about real estate. And these guys are young. I mean, they're young. And I'm just talking about home ownership, talking about the market. And so one of them, like last week or a week and a half ago, he calls me up and he's like, man, he goes, I've been really thinking about what you had to say, and I wanna get going on this. And so, of course, we reintroduced him to Justin. Justin got them all set up. And so the theme of today has been relationships. And so building relationships with him and really explaining how you build wealth in real estate really just kind of left a mark on him. Now, on the other side of building relationships, Ryan, the three of us, we talk so much about the effort and the intent of the relationships that we build with builders out there. And so Ryan especially, but we have some great relationships with some builders. And so it was last week, one of the higher ups on one of the builders texted us and said, listen, we're at the end of our fiscal year. This is what we have. This is what we're willing to do. And this is what we're willing to do for you two guys. To the point, it was what we're willing to do for you two guys that the on-site agent had no clue about the relationship. So we walked him in there and got him the builder knocked off $10,000 off the price of the home. Had anyone else walked in there, that would have been your price. We got it $10,000 less. $6,000, or not 6,000, sorry, 6% in seller concessions. This is a $385,000 house starter, first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
6% of that to go towards his closing costs and rate buy down. We got the builder to throw him in a washer, dryer, and refrigerator. And what was never discussed anywhere, we got the builder to throw in window coverings on all the windows. And this young man, kid, I'm old, I can call him a kid. He just couldn't be any happier, and he's so excited that he's starting the process, and he knows because he's in the military, he's not going to be here forever, followed our teachings and like, okay, we're going to look at this, that we're going to rent this one day and what we got to do. And I just, we do a lot of work with our men and women over at Luke Air Force Base, and it's such a great feeling. But to take one that we're helping them buy their first home and putting them on the path to building wealth in real estate, it's been amazing.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, and what a great first time experience.
Unbelievable.
And for a lot of our first time home buyers or even second time, I mean, there couldn't be anything better than a new home right now. There's just it's so much work and so much information overload when you have a home that's 20, 30 years old that you move in right after you got done emptying your bank account, and then, there's air conditioning issues or there's, sewer backups or there's whatever. And it's like, what the hell do I do with all this? Yeah. So I'm pumped for him. Good job, brother.
I couldn't imagine what I could do with $23,000 on a VA loan for him. It would be incredible. Yeah. That is amazing.
All righty. Well, we would love to make you part of Storytime, and more importantly, we'd love to help you get on the path, put you on the path to building wealth in real estate. All you got to do is text the word story to 623 AZ Recon. All right, Ryan, it is
My week?
Friday. It is your week.
It's my week. So it doesn't feel like it because we just got done with another average 110 weather type of week. But we are quickly approaching tourist / snowbird season. So lots of people are getting ready to come here in the month of October, November, December, or well in through through Q1 of next year. And so I was thinking, we've never really talked about the touristy spots of Arizona. And so being that we're local, we don't do a whole lot of touristy stuff, but because we've been here for so long, we've done most, if not all of them. Just probably been a while. Like I haven't been to the Grand Canyon in over a decade, right?
Yeah.
And which is one of the 7 wonders of the world, or however many wonders of the world there are.
You're the 8th, pal.
Yeah, thank you. It's because of the company I keep. But, so, Mike.
Yeah.
What is your favorite touristy thing or tourist location or whatever to do in Arizona?
All right. So it can be within Phoenix City.
Yeah,
okay.
Arizona.
I one of my favorite things to do, and I love to take my wife there, is because it includes an all-you-can-eat brunch. But I freaking love the Wrigley Mansion.
Once you said brunch, I was like,
I'm like, if you are visiting Arizona and you get that opportunity, obviously we're talking about Wrigley from Wrigley Gum and Wrigley Field, the Cubs and everything like that. It's down in the Biltmore area. It sits on a small hill. It is old.
It's iconic.
And the views are amazing. You can take a tour, and the food was amazing. And I remember, though, when I took my wife the first time, we almost got into a fight there. So we go, and they give us our plates, and we get up, and we walk around, put our food on our plates. We sit down, and we eat, and we're done. And I'm like, let's go. And she goes, well, where? I go, well, round 2. She goes, I'm full. I'm like, I just dropped X amount of dollars on an all-you-can-eat buffet. Do not say that you're capped out at one plate, right? And then the server walks by, and she goes, well, she's making it up in mimosas. So I'm like, yeah, she was on her third, so we were good. But, yeah, Wrigley Mansion for me.
Okay, that's a good one.
Justin. My first time to Wrigley Mansion, I actually went to a wedding. You guys remember Zach Miller? He was a tight end for Arizona State, and then he went and played for Seattle Seahawks and the Raiders. So he's a buddy. Went to a wedding there, and it was incredible. I didn't even know it was there, and I grew up here, so that's a good spot. So my mom took me when I was in junior high. She used to take me around places. She was like, I'm afraid I'm not going to get to spend any time with you. So like once a month, she would take me to places all around Arizona. But she took me to the Grand Canyon caverns, and they were really cool. Got to go down in an elevator. There was a sloth that was preserved in one of them.
Cool.
Just a super cool experience for me.
Like a prehistoric sloth?
Yeah.
One of those giant ones?
Giant.
Damn.
I mean,
Wow.
I was in junior high, so I'm probably blowing this up, but I think it was like 13 to 15 feet tall. It was huge.
Holy
It was
shit.
huge. And there was the scratch marks on the wall from it trying to get out of there. It had fallen down there somehow. But it was huge claws.
It's nothing like the ones I've seen in Costa Rica. Those ones are the size of a basketball.
But that was a really cool experience for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where is it? I mean, obviously, I know Grand Canyon area. But
I don't know exactly. Again, I just remember it was the Grand Canyon Cavern. So I don't know exactly where it's at, but I'd love to research it. I was trying to research it on my phone here, but you were giving me shit for it. So
my bad that Ryan and I prepared.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess if anyone wants to reach out, then we'll have the research done, and then we can post it on whatever platform that you're listening on. So mine. And I've done it several times, but I don't know that I'll ever be able to do it again, is Havasupai.
Oh, yeah.
We are avid hikers, and we love to get outside and get in the dirt and see just cool spots. So Probably gone, I think, 4 or 5 times. It's a pretty long hike. You can take a helicopter in. I don't suggest it, but
People judge you.
well, I've never taken a helicopter in.
But you've seen people get helicoptered
Oh,
in.
yeah. Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, you guys are dirtbags.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, you guys don't deserve to be here. You got to earn this, because it's about a 10 or 12-mile hike in, and that's not nearly as hard as the hike out because it's all downhill coming in, all uphill going up. But Google those images. There's a number of different waterfalls and just the overall landscape. It's unbelievable. So if you're out here and you can get a permit to go, then by all means you should make it a priority because it is unreal.
All right, there you go. Entire episode of Stories. We'd love to make you part of our story. All you got to do is text the word story to 623 AZ Recon. That's story to 623 AZ Recon.